Hello, it's Gracie from Small Worlds Big Adventures, building community through gaming, and today we're doing a walkthrough of Flamecraft. The first thing you're going to do is lay out your player map. Then you're going to take out the town and starter shops. The starter shops have this like beige color, while the other shops are more of a tan. And so you'll go ahead and lay out the starter shops. And you can put them anywhere on the board you want. Scott lays them just on one side here, but later we have a different setup where they're across from each other. Next, you'll get the Artisan Dragon deck, and there will be 6 starter dragons on the top, and then you'll go and match the Artisan Dragons with the same symbol on the shop. So you'll see here he's matching leaf to leaf, bread to bread, and so forth. After the Artisan Dragons are out on the shops, you will then lay out the resource tokens, and there should be one symbol for each type of dragon. Then you're going to put all of the coins in the fountain as best you can. Now we're going to make the shop deck. To do this, you sort the shop cards by the icons in their top corner. There will be 6 icons for the goods: bread, meat, anvil, diamond, leaf, and potion, and a 7th pile for all the other icons. Then you're going to place all the piles face down and separately shuffle them. You'll take 1 card from each of the good shop piles and 4 cards from that 7th pile that has all the other symbols. And you'll make a face down stack of 10 shops. Make sure you shuffle that stack, and this becomes the shop deck. You can put the rest of the shop cards back in the box for the game. Now you'll make the Artisan Dragon deck. If you're playing with 2 or 3 players, there's some special rules about removing dragon cards. But otherwise, just shuffle the deck and place out 5 dragon cards at the far end of the map. Then you'll shuffle and place the fancy dragon deck next to the fountain. Now you'll have a choice between the purple and gold deck. We recommend starting with the purple deck, as the gold deck is a little more complicated when you first get started. Place the deck you're not using in the box. Once you've shuffled the deck you're using, place 5 of the enchantment cards out on the enchantment path. You'll see little rectangles where they can sit. Now that the board is set up, we're ready to set up our players. Each player gets a card, a token, and a victory point counter in the same matching color. To pick who's going first, you mix your victory point tokens up and draw one randomly. Blue gets to go first. Once you've done this, place everyone's token trackers on the track. Then each player gets 3 Artisan Dragons and then 2 Fancy Dragons. Now, they'll get to keep all of their Artisan Dragons, but they'll have to look at their Fancy Dragons and decide which one that they're going to keep. Whichever one they don't want to keep, they will then put at the bottom of the Fancy Dragon deck. It's important to remember that there are Sun Fancy Dragons and Moon Fancy Dragons, and that determines when you can turn in that mission. When it's your turn, you'll place your dragon token on a shop where you aren't currently at. If another player is at that shop, you get to gift them a resource of your choice. There are multiple players there. You have to gift each person a resource of your choice. Once you've placed your dragon, you get to choose whether to enchant the building or gather resources. If you gather resources, you'll gather a resource for each symbol at the shop. That could be its enchanted slot, the shop, or the dragons there. Then you have the option of placing a dragon at the shop. That dragon symbol has to match one of the symbols at the slot, and then you get the reward, in this case a coin. If you placed a dragon in the last slot at that shop, you'll draw a new shop card, but you won't flip it over until you've finished your turn. Lastly, if you choose to gather resources on a turn, you get to choose to flame one of the dragons. That just means use its ability. Leaf dragons allow you to gift a player a resource to gain 2 victory points. The anvil dragons allow you to gain 2 resources from one of the symbols at the shop. In this case, Scott is choosing to go with the diamond, which is on the diamond dragon. So he gets 2 diamonds. Diamond dragons allow you to gain 3 resources of different types. They don't have to be at the shop you're at. However, they do have to be different from each other. In this case, Scott is taking a leaf, a potion, and a meat. Bread dragons allow you to draw a dragon from the artisan deck. This is really helpful so that you can continue placing dragons when you visit shops. A meat dragon allows you to place a dragon from your hand into the shops. You can place it on any shop that matches that symbol. While a potion dragon allows you to swap that dragon with any other dragon in town. In this case, Scott swapped with an anvil dragon. If you don't choose to gather resources, you can enchant. To enchant, you find an enchantment with the same symbol and pay the resources on that card. Once you've paid the resources on that card, you'll gain the rewards listed on that enchantment. For the one Scott's doing, he gets victory points and to draw a dragon from the artisan deck. Once you've gathered your rewards for completing that enchantment, you'll slide the enchantment in the top left corner of the shop. Most enchantments have a set cost, a specific number of different types of resources. However, some enchantments give you more victory points the more resources you invest in them. In this case, Scott gets more victory points for every pair of meat and bread he decides to pay. He gets 8 points for having done 4 pairs, but had he only done 1 pair, he actually would have gotten 0 victory points. Now, if you have a sun dragon whose quest you've completed, you can turn that in at any point during your turn. In this case, Scott gets victory points for having 2 shops in town have 1 of each type of dragon. Now you have moon dragons too, but you won't be able to complete their missions until the end of the game. But keep paying attention to what they are, because you don't want to get to the end and realize you didn't complete those missions. At the end of your turn, whether you gathered resources or enchanted a building, you need to check your items. You can only have 6 artisan dragons in your hand, and you can only have 7 of each resource in your hand. So if you have more than that, you need to discard down, but you get to decide what you discard. End of game is triggered when either the last artisan dragon is revealed or drawn, or the last enchantment card is revealed or drawn. Once this happens, each player gets to have 1 more turn, including the player who revealed the last card. Once everyone has had their last turn, you count up final victory points, and the winner is whoever has the most victory points. While there is a winner, this game is just fun of cute dragons, collaborative nature, and delightful puns. We hope that you have a great time playing this game. If you want to see more walkthroughs, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you love the adorableness of this game, hit the like button. And if you've played it, let me know what your favorite type of dragon is. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.